joined by Travis Roy, one of our two big guests of honor today. Travis, it's a pleasure to have you on here on ASPN HD.
I'm enjoying it. It's been a great night. Good hockey and raising some money for a great cause.
As a fellow Terrier alum, it's probably a little difficult to see the Junior Eagles win, but with Jacob Gurdon doing so much work behind the scenes to make this a possibility, it feels pretty good to see his hard work pay off.
This whole thing only happens because of Jacob Gurdon. So just a special kid. When he came forward with the idea, I was all in. His family's been incredibly supportive. The joint venture, a group organization that we work with called Positive Tracks, matches the money that he raises, along with each one of the participants. That every $23 that they raise, it'll get matched by Positive Tracks. It really helps us double up on our fundraising efforts. So very special.
There are a lot of events that are put on throughout New England for the Travis Roy Foundation. I want to talk about that in a second. But for a 13-year-old to come up with this idea, to do a lot of the legwork, how much does that mean to you and your foundation, knowing that there's youth who maybe don't have the kind of situation that you have, but still care enough to put in the time, put in the work to make this possible?
Well, it mixes both my loves. I mean, as I mentioned, the first 20 years of my life I had a passion. In the last 20 years, I've had a purpose, and it's kind of fun to see to go back to the love of hockey and to continue to do it as a purpose, and to see a 12-year-old like Jacob kind of do it at his age. It's special, and I think we're off to a good start. This could be an annual event, and it's just an honor to be a part of it and to know that we're going to, as I say, help out people through the Travis Roy Foundation.
Speaking of the hockey, you were a highly recruited player, went to Boston University, a power at that point and still now. Saw some pretty good hockey out there. Maybe some potential players will suit up for one of these teams.
You're not joking. There were some good players out there. I mean, the Junior Eagles, the Junior Terrors, the Huskies, and the Crimson. It's good hockey. The caliber of hockey in Boston right now is very strong, and you're seeing that in the youth hockey and high school hockey and all the prep school and junior hockey that's taking place.
You founded the Travis Roy Foundation back in 1997. You spoke before with all of these groups. You said that you hoped that this wouldn't be something you'd still be doing at this point because maybe some of the research would have led you a little bit further. But what does donations like this and all of the people who are coming here maybe learning about this mean for the future and hopefully for helping people in similar situations to you being able to have a better way of life?
Right. I mean, when I started this foundation, I didn't quite know what I was doing. I just knew that I wanted to give back. I wanted to help other people with spinal cord injuries, and I also wanted to end paralysis as we knew it. I was hoping we'd be out of business by now. We still have a lot of work to do. Progress is being made, but it's about time and money. And we do events that raise hundreds of thousands of dollars, but our bread and butter is grassroots events, just like this. This event's going to raise over $10,000. For a 12-year-old boy to plant the seed and to see it grow into something like that, that's huge. Again, we continue to grow in different ways, but one of the priorities for me with any of our fundraisers, yes, it's about raising money. It's every bit as much about having fun. And I think for all these 12, 13-year-old boys out here, they realize that there's more to life than just hockey. So there's, yes, we raised some money, yes, we had a good time, but there are also some good lessons learned.
When you went down and talked with the boys and girls down there in the locker rooms, what was your message to them? I mean, obviously they're a little bit of awe. Everyone around the New England area knows the name Travis Roy. Some know your story a little bit more than others. But what was your message to them, a chance to get out into this ice and to continue their hockey careers and passions?
My biggest advice is just the values that you learn through this game. The love, the respect, the setting goals, competing, all those things that you apply and that you learn in this game, just how they actually will go along with the rest of your life, help lead you to successes beyond the hockey world. And I was kind of hoping someday I'd be here playing here for the Bruins. Didn't quite work that way, but I've been able to use a lot of things I learned from my hockey experiences to my work with the foundation. It's the same dedication, the same setting goals. It's the same idea of having pride in our volunteers and trying to do something more than as much as I can. So so the kids were very receptive. And then the last thing I just told them, I said, to have fun. It's a great time in their lives to be in that locker room. There's no place I love more than just being in the locker room with buddies, and they're fortunate to be able to be in that moment and to not take it for granted.
Travis, if some of the athletes you played today who are watching, or some of the people who may have just found this game, what are some ways that they can help out, not just through money, but through awareness going forward with the Travis Roy Foundation and for people who have suffered spinal cord injuries?
Absolutely. So we do a number of different events. We use wiffle ball as a tool. We have hockey games. There's a Bills 5K here in Newton. They can go onto the website, make a donation there, or they can get involved just to volunteer in one of our events. There's a lot of different ways to get involved.
Travis, thanks so much for your time. Thanks so much for coming to this event. I know it meant a lot to the players getting a chance to speak to you. And
well, to the families, to the teams, there's a lot of time and energy went into this. Again, certainly to Jacob and his family, to have the association with Positive Tracks. Everything came together, and it's been a magical night.
Thank you so much to Travis Roy joining us here on ASPN HD.